Starters for our first race at the gate. Gate is moving, all set for race number 1 of the evening, field of 8. We have Susie Comeback and Tony Watson. Quality Made Easy, Len McGuigan. Any Which Way and Brian Moore. Misty Albreeze, Sean Shannon. Bob's Birthday, Lonnie Stokes. Majestical, Steve Mahar, Happy Riggs, and Al Jones. Actin' Ideal, Steve Mason. 8 at the gate. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Bob's Birthday out for the early lead. Susie Comeback on the inside, and Majestical gets away third, and Happy Riggs on the outside fourth into the first turn. And your leader, Bob's Birthday on the outside, has grabbed the top. Susie Comeback is now racing second. That leaves Happy Riggs on the outside, and she's forced to go on, and he is now second and going for the top. The leader, Bob's Birthday, but Happy Riggs has gone out and grabbed the top. The 2-year-old colt has cleared to the front with Bob's Birthday now sitting in the pocket second. Susie Comeback has third, and Quality Made Easy racing in fourth. Back in fifth is Misty Albreeze and Majestical sixth. Any Which Way and trailing the field. Actin' Ideal 31-4 was the opening quarter. And the 2-year-old Happy Riggs moving out now by about 3.5 lengths and making it more. Racing in second. On the rail is Bob's Birthday. Susie Comeback looks at it from third. Quality Made Easy fourth. Misty Albreeze fifth. And Majestical Any Which Way and trailing the field. Actin' Ideal as the 2-year-old colt Happy Riggs took them by the opening half. In 103-4, he's on top still by 2. They're inching a bit closer as Bob's Birthday still second. Racing third on the inside. Susie Comeback closer fourth is Quality Made Easy. And in behind her is Misty Albreeze Any Which Way on the outside sixth. Then racing seventh, Majestical, and your trailing horse still Actin' Ideal onto the 3/4, and your leader up front. And cutting it out still, Happy Riggs. He got the top just before the quarter. He is still there, the 3/4 in 1:36. Happy Riggs on top with Bob's Birthday second. Susie Comeback, she's left the pylons third. Up the inside comes Quality Made Easy. She is now third as they come off the turn for home, and it's all Happy Riggs. Happy Riggs, Bob's Birthday is going to give it a try from the pocket. On the outside and coming is Quality Made Easy with a late rush, but they're not going to beat Happy Riggs. He's going to win it. Happy Riggs over Bob's Birthday. Quality Made Easy. Susie Comeback fourth. Then Misty Albreeze got the fifth. Then Any Which Way, Majestical, and Actin' Ideal. Time for the mile. 2:07-1. Top of the stretch now for our second race, field of 6. Illini Heather, Tim Merzetti. Daily Odds, Mark Haig. J. L's Mayflower and Steve Mahar. Allegro Ellie, Doug Queen. Lexical, Todd Trites, and Chip in the Pocket, Brian Moore, 6 starters. Here they come. They're off and pacing from post number 3. That's on the outside, J.L.'s Mayflower going for the early lead. Illini Heather gets away on the wood, racing in second. And she is now second, racing third. Getting away was Daily Odds fourth. On the outside is Chip in the Pocket. Then back in fifth, Allegro Ellie. And trailing the field is Lexical up the backstretch to the opening quarter. And your leader up front, J.L.'s Mayflower. Illini Heather with the pocket trip second. Then back in third, Daily Odds, Chip in the Pocket, still looking at it from fourth. Then Allegro Ellie and Lexical at the back of the bus. They were by the opening quarter. 30 3/5. Up front, cutting it out, J.L.'s Mayflower, Illini Heather, up tight second. Right there, third on the inside, Daily Odds, then back fourth. On the inside is Chip in the Pocket, then fifth, Allegro Ellie, and trailing sixth on the outside, moving Lexical to the opening half, and your leader up front, cutting it out, J.L.'s Mayflower, Illini Heather, looking good second. They were by the opening half, 102-1. There goes Daily Odds out from third to rush on. And with the cover goes Chip in the Pocket that leaves Allegro Ellie. Locked in fifth and trailing sixth on the outside. Lexical, there's 3 along the pylons, 3 on the outside as they race on to the 3/4. And JL's Mayflower looking to go coast to coast. Then Illini Heather back to second on the outside. Daily Odds right there third. Allegro Ellie up the inside fourth, 3/4, 1:34 and 1. Then it's Chip in the pocket, and Lexical as the field drives towards the 7/8. And your leader up front still, J.L.'s Mayflower. Racing second, Illini Heather, Daily Odds on the outside. Off the turn for home, less than an eighth to go. J.L.'s Mayflower, Daily Odds coming on. Illini Heather with a late rush. In between horses, down to the wire. J.L.'s Mayflower, Illini Heather on the outside. They were tight. Looked like maybe J.L.'s Mayflower may have held on over Illini Heather. Then Daily Odds, Allegro Ellie, Chip in the pocket. Lexical, the time for the mile. 2:05 and 1. 7 on the gate. J.F. Smokewagon, Charlie Price. Amber Moon, Len McGuigan. Charlie Burke and Steve Mahar. Count Legacy, Tony Watson. 4 men only, Lonnie Stokes. Seawind Calvero, Mark Collett. And from the outside 7, Mr. L and Todd Trites. 7 at the gate, race 3. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Charlie Burke for the early lead. Up on the inside, though, is Amber Moon. She's going forward as well. That leaves Charlie Burke on the outside and getting away 4 men only on the outside. 3 wide third. Then JF Smokewagon got away fourth. Mr. L. In between horses is 5th. And going on, backing off now for men only. Back to 6th. Then up the inside with Seawind Calvero. He's now 5th as Charlie Burke has grabbed the top and he's cleared to the front. That leaves Mr. L on the outside looking for positioning. On the outside second, they were by the quarter, 30 and 1. It's Charlie Burke. Outside, Mr. L second, looking for the pocket. He's not going to get it though. On the inside, third and holding there is Amber Moon. Racing fourth, JF Smokewagon. Outside moving 4 men only. He's out again. Then on the inside, back in 6th, Seawind Calvero. And the trailing horse is Count Legacy, but she's out and moving to the opening half. And they're 4 in and 3 out to the opening half. And Charlie Burke on top with Mr. L. Park second. That opening half at 2 and 1. Ember Moon on the inside, racing third. Then 4 men only. Second up on the outside, fourth. Racing fifth, J.F. Smokewagon. Then it's Count Legacy and trailing the field, Seawind Calvero. As they're about 5 lengths apart as they straighten into the backstretch. Onto the 3/4 and your leader, Charlie Burke, looking to go coast to coast on the outside. Mr. L still hitting hard second. Racing third on the inside. Amber Moon second up on the outside. 4 men only. The 3/4 in 1:35 and 1. Still Charlie Burke, and he's moving away. Charlie Burke pacing away now. Up the inside, Amber Moon. Mr. L is hanging tough third. Then racing fourth, 4 men only. JF Smokewagon looking for room. Down the stretch, and it's Charlie Burke showing his heels to the field. Charlie Burke. Mr. L's won a monster mile tonight, and he's going to hang on for second. Charlie Burke over Mr. L. Then 4 men only, Amber Moon, JF Smokewagon. Then Seawind Calvero, Count Legacy, and the time for the mile. 2:05 and 4. Approaching top of the stretch now with our 4th race. 8 behind the gate, we've got Fame Scooter, Tim Merzetti. Duchess of Windsor and Steve Mahar, along with Kilkerran Peddler, Thane McQuarrie. Sid Silgirl, Don Bishop. Rambo's Reflection, Tony Watson. Hugh's Return, Wayne Watson. Good Dear Good and Lonnie Stokes. And from the outside, just hanging out, and Todd Trites. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Duchess of Windsor, quickest off the wing. She has grabbed the top. Getting away second was Sid's Silgirl, Good Dear Good. Gets along the pylons back in third. Getting away fourth was Just Hanging Out. He's found the pylons as well, racing back in fourth. Then getting away fifth was Kilkerran Peddler, Rambo's Reflection. Then Hugh's Return and trailing the field, Fame Scooter, but she's out and moving to the opening quarter. And Duchess of Windsor, big favorite on the tote board, $2.90. She's on top, racing second. After a quarter of 30 and 3 is Sid's Silgirl. Back in third is Good Dear Good. Closer fourth now is Just Hanging Out. Then back in fifth is Kilkerran Peddler, out and moving Fame's Scooter. He's made his way now to 6th, and Rambo's Reflection and Hugh's Return as they come off the turn and through the stretch. to the opening half in front of the grandstand for the first time. And Mahar's on top again in this one. He's got Duchess of Windsor on the front end with Sid Silgirl sitting the pocket second, just hanging out. He's out and driving now third. They were by the half, 1:03 and 1. And on top still Duchess of Windsor. Sid's Silgirl on the outside third, just hanging out. Then on the inside fourth is Good Dear Good. Fame Scooter now fifth. Then Kill, Karen Peddler, Rambo's Reflection, and trailing Hughes Return. It's on to the three-quarters, and Mahar looking for 3 straight wins. He's looking good as Duchess of Windsor took us by the three-quarters in 1:35 and 2. Closest to him right now is Sid Silgirl. She's been in the pocket the entire trip. Back third, Good Dear Good. Then racing fourth on the outside with a drive comes Kill, Karen Peddler. Off the turn for home, and it's Duchess of Windsor. Sid Silgirl out for the drive from the pocket. In deep stretch, Duchess of Windsor. He's going to hold on to win it, and Mahar gets 3 in a row here tonight. Duchess of Windsor wins it. Sid Silgirl second, and third, Good Dear Good. Rambo's Reflection, a fast closing fourth. Then Hughes Return, Kill, Karen Peddler. Then just hanging out, Fame Scooter in the time for the mile. 2:06 and 4. Starters for the fifth are at the gate. Gate is moving. All set for our fifth. Top class of the night, a field of 5. They line up with rules and regulations. Stefan DeCourcy, Star Trek, and Steve Mahar. Symbolic Gesture, Lonnie Stokes, Stevie Y, Brian Moore. Port Bluff, Len McGuigan. Here they come. They're off and pacing a good start. Star Trek going out for the early lead. Symbolic Gesture getting out of there as well. And Port Bluff is 3 wide into the first turn. Then getting away fourth on the inside was Rules and Regulations. Back fifth, Stevie Y. They're battling 3 wide. Up the backstretch to the opening quarter, and Symbolic Gesture. Port Bluff on the outside. He's getting parked to the opening quarter. And racing second, Symbolic Gesture as Port Bluff just made the front past the opening quarter. And he was there in 29 seconds flat. They're stacked up, 5 of them now, and your leader up front is Port Bluff. Racing second on the pylons is Symbolic Gesture. Star Trek looking at things from third. Then racing fourth comes Stevie Y. He's out and moving. Then Rules and Regulations trails the field to the opening half, and your leader up front looking to get a bit of a breather is Port Bluff, leading by a length and a quarter. Then up tight second, Symbolic Gesture. Stevie Y coming to call on the outside. They on opening half, 1:01 and 1. And your leader up front and cutting it out, Port Bluff. Stevie Y on the outside, first up, hitting hard second. Then racing third on the inside as they go on up the backstretch is Symbolic Gesture. Rules and Regulations looking good, a second over fourth. Star Trek has went to the back of the bus as they go on to the three-quarters, and they're bunched past the three-quarters in Port Bluff. In 1:32, Port Bluff still on top on the outside. Stevie Y still hitting hard second. On the inside third, Symbolic Gesture, Rules and Regulations. Right there fourth, and he's swinging out 3 wide now. And Star Trek trails off the turn as Port Bluff. On the outside, Stevie Y in deep stretch, though. He's too much for this field. Port Bluff, he's going to win it. He does. Port Bluff over Stevie Y, Symbolic Gesture, Rules and Regulations third, and Star Trek was fifth in the time for the mile. Lining up now behind the gate, we have a field of 6 for the 6th race. Spudland Sarah, Charlie Price. Sand Emerald Dragon, Steve Mahar. Fast Hawk and Todd Trites. Shalimar Sentinel, Tony Watson. UB First, Bill Nicholson Sr. and Big V, Don Bishop. Field of 6, race 6. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Sand Emerald Dragon going for the early lead. Up on the outside, Shalimar Sentinel. In the middle of the racetrack, racing second, Spudland Sarah. Gets away third from the rail position. Racing back and forth is Fast Talk. Then it's UB first, and trailing the field as they head up the backstretch to the quarter is Big V. And your leader up front, Sand Emerald Dragon. Mahar on top again in this one. He's leading by 2. Shalimar Sentinel second. Back 4 lengths to Spudland Sarah. Racing in third. That opening quarter, 30 seconds, and it's Fast Talk back in fourth. Racing fifth, UB first. Trailing the field, Big V. And the first two are pretty much out by themselves as they come towards the 3/8 pole. And Sand Emerald Dragon, just like she did last week, she's on the front end. And she's out by 3. Racing second, Shalimar Sentinel. Back about 4 lengths to Spudland Sarah in third. Then Fast Talk fourth. UB first. First up on the outside. Now fourth. They were by the half in a minute. And 3/5 is a 3-year-old Dragon's Lair filly. She's on top again. And racing in second, Shalimar Sentinel. Third on the outside comes UB first. Then Spudland Sarah now fourth. Fast Talk gets off the pylons from fifth. And Big V not in contention to this point as they race on to the 3/4. And Mahar looking for his 4th win of the night. And he's got a good one on top here. Sand Emerald Dragon. 3/4, 1:32 and 3. UB first. Now comes to second, giving chase. Then third on the inside is Shalimar Sentinel. Fast Talk is a closer 4th. Spudland Sarah and trailing Big V off the turn for home. And it's Catch Me If You Can. Sand Emerald Dragon, UB first on the outside with a drive. And UB first is going to get there, I think, in the late stages. But it's tight at the wire. Too tight to call, but no, Sand Emerald Dragon does win it. Hangs on to win over UB first. Then in for third was Fast Talk. Shalimar Sentinel fourth. Then Spudland Sarah and Big V. Time for the mile. 2:05 and 1. Starters for the 7th race. Approaching top of the stretch. We get a field of 5. Doc Smokin' Joe, Todd Trites. Lee's Lady Ann and Lonnie Stokes. Maple Cookie, Mark Haig, HR Sherry's Tamara, Steve Mahar and Direct Drive. Wayne Watson, 5 starters. Here they come. They're off fan pacing, and HR Sherry's Tamara going for the early lead. Lee's Lady Ann gets away second. On the inside, Doc Smokin' Joe has third. Back and forth, Maple Cookie. And getting away fifth, that was Direct Drive. And Mahar, he's on the choo-choo again with HR Sherry's Tamara. She's on top, leading by 2. Racing second, Lee's Lady Ann, back third. On the inside is Doc Smokin' Joe, Maple Cookie fourth. Trailing fifth, Direct Drive. They're single file. They're stacked 5 to the opening quarter. And they were by that opening quarter 30 and 2/5. Up front, HR Sherry's Tamara. She's well in front, leading by 2. Racing in second is Lee's Lady Ann, back third. Doc Smokin' Joe, then fourth. On the pylons is Maple Cookie, and trailing still Direct Drive to the opening half. And your leader up front, HR Sherry's Tamara. She's on top still, leading by 2. Lee's Lady Ann second, Doc Smokin' Joe third, then Maple Cookie fourth. And Direct Drive fifth. They were by the half, 1:01 and 3. It's Catch Me If You Can here. HR Sherry's Tamara still on top. Racing second, Lee's Lady Ann. Here comes Doc Smokin' Joe off the pylons, going on from third. Then Maple Cookie following suit, fourth, and trailing fifth, Direct Drive. He's going to the inside onto the 3/4. And Doc Smokin' Joe trying to get a nose in front as they race by the 3/4. And Doc Smokin' Joe has got the front now from HR Sherry's Tamara. They were by the 3/4, 1:33 and 3, and she's not done yet. She's fighting back on the inside. HR Sherry's Tamara, Doc Smokin' Joe with Rock and Todd Trites on the outside second, off the turn for home, and your leader on the outside, Doc Smokin' Joe. HR Sherry's Tamara fighting hard, tooth and nail down to the wire. It's going to be tight. Mahar gets his 5th of the night. In for second, Doc Smokin' Joe. Third was Direct Drive. Then in for fourth, Maple Cookie. And fifth, Lee's Lady Ann. Time of the mile, 2:04 and 1. Brian Moore, Broadway standout. Ricky Collins. Pete the Cheat, Mark Collett, Waterside Apache with Charlie Price. Anomalous, Mark Haig, Lip Sync with Lonnie Stokes and Casimir Rocket. To the outside for Todd Trites. 7 across the gate. Here they come. They're off and pacing, and from the inside, Princetown Judy using the rail to her advantage. She's quickly going for the top, but Casimir Rocket, he got off well on the outside, and he's going for the top. They battle neck and neck to the opening 8th. Broadway Standout takes a seat back in 3rd. Then racing 4th, Pete the Cheat. Up the inside, Waterside Apache is 5th, and Anomalous. And trailing the field, Lip Sync as Casimir Rocket has cleared to the front, but it may have cost him a bit. Princetown Judy is out for the retake. 29 4 the quarter, and Princetown Judy has, in fact, retaken the top with Casimir Rocket now in the pocket, racing 2nd. 3rd on the inside, Broadway Standout. Here comes Pete the Cheat. And racing back in 5th as they turn. Off the turn is Waterside Apache. Anomalous comes out to move. And trailing the field, Lip Sync to the opening half mile. We got all kinds of movement. 3 in and 4 out to the opening half. And your leader up front, Princetown Judy. Racing 2nd, Broadway Standout at her wheel 2nd. Casimir Rocket is racing 3rd, the half, 101 and 4. Then Pete the Cheat 2nd over 4th. Racing 5th on the inside, Lip Sync. Waterside Apache 3rd over in 6th. And trailing Anomalous as they go on up the backstretch. Racing to the 3/4. It's still anyone's race here. Princetown Judy on top. Outside, Broadway Standout. Casimir Rocket hanging tough on the inside 3rd. Then between horses is Pete the Cheat. Waterside Apache way wide. Anomalous is way outside, painting the fence about 5 wide as they go around the top turn. And your leader still, Princetown Judy. Racing 2nd, Broadway Standout as they come off the turn for home. And it's Princetown Judy on top. Princetown Judy, Broadway Standout. Casimir Rocket is still there in deep stretch, so they're not going to catch Princetown Judy. It's her 15th winning trip of the season, and she gets it done. Lip Sync 2nd, Casimir Rocket 3rd. Then in for 4th, Pete the Cheat. Then it was Waterside Apache, Broadway Standout, and Anomalous. Time for the mile. 2:05. Starters for the 9th, approaching top of the stretch. We have 7 at the gate. Off the rail, So Passe and Wayne Watson. Don't Let Me Down with Steve Mason. Notch One Out, Steve Mahar. Dance Legend, Brian Moore. Show Me the Honey and Mark Haig. Stony B, Charlie Price and Familiar Face. And Al Jones. 7 starters. Here they come. They're off and pacing. So Passe uses her early gate speed to grab the early lead. Racing 2nd on the outside, Show Me the Honey. She's now 2nd. Racing 3rd, Bacchus, Don't Let Me Down. Getting away 4th was Notch One Out. Then back in 5th, Stony B. Dance Legend, who trailed early, is on the move on the outside 6th. And trailing 7th is Familiar Face onto the opening quarter. So Passe on top, leading a length and a half with the pocket trip in 2nd. Show Me the Honey back 3rd. After a quarter of 30 seconds, it's Dance Legend now makes his way to 3rd. Don't Let Me Down is 4th. Here comes Stony B on the outside, moving 5th on the outside. Then up the inside comes Notch One Out, and trailing still Familiar Face as they come off the turn and through the stretch to the opening half. So Passe has things her way. She's on top, racing 2nd. Show Me the Honey. Outside, Dance Legend, Don't Let Me Down, locked into 4th. Then Stony B, Notch One Out, and trailing Familiar Face. They were by the opening half, 101 for So Passe. Show Me the Honey with the pocket journey in 2nd. Don't Let Me Down, looking good from 3rd, and she comes off the cones to challenge from 3rd. Back in 4th is Notch One Out. He's going to find some real estate now. He gets off the pylons from 4th. Then racing 5th, Stony B, Familiar Face. He's got a ways to go. And trailing and calling it a night was Dance Legend. 3/4, 1:32 and 1. Don't Let Me Down has grabbed the top. Don't Let Me Down, and on the outside, Notch One Out is 3 high, but So Passe. She's not giving up. She's back on top again on the inside. Off the turn for home. So passe on the outside. Don't let me down. Coming on again in deep stretch. Don't let me down between them. She's going to get the job done. Don't let me down. Notch went out. Look to be second. Then show me the honey. So passe, familiar face. Then Stony Bee and Dance Legend. Time for the mile. 2:02 and 3. Starters for the 10th race. Once again at the gate. Gate is moving. All set for the 10th. Off the rail we have River King and Charlie Price. From 2, Lone Wonder GW, Mark Collett. Moving in, Ender off Bluegrass scores from 3 for Wayne Watson. Scorpy moves in and will leave 4 for Len McGuigan. Grammar Girl and Steve Mahar, JP, Tony Watson, and Aaron Islands with Lonnie Stokes. Here they come. They're off and pacing, going for the early lead. Grammar Girl from the far outside in between horses. Scorpy getting away well. And on the inside, Lone Water GW got away third. Then JP outside now to the pylons fourth, racing fifth. On the outside, Aaron Islands, and back in sixth is River King, and trailing the field to the opening quarter. Ender off Bluegrass, and a familiar spot for Stevie Wonder. He's on top. He's got Grammar Girl on the top past the opening quarter. 29 and 2. Uptight second. And racing second in along the rail is Scorpy. Then back in third, Lone Water GW. JP still looks at things from fourth. Aaron Islands a closer fifth. Then back to River King. And Ender off Bluegrass still trails the field as they come through the stretch to the half. And Grammar Girl in control. Then racing second is Scorpy on the outside. Here comes Lone Water GW. On the outside now to second, racing third, Scorpy. Outside, JP follows cover in fourth, the half, 101. Then Aaron Islands back fifth. Ender off Bluegrass is a closer sixth, and trailing River King as the field races on by the 5/8 and on up the backstretch. Racing on to the 3/4, your leader up front, Grammar Girl. Racing second, Lone Water GW right there third on the inside is Scorpy. Outside to JP. Ender off Bluegrass looking to tip 3 wide from fifth as that's Lone Water GW on a break. And everybody by okay as they race on. And that leaves Grammar Girl. That leaves Mahar out by himself. And it looks like nothing's going to beat him from getting 6 as they come off the turn for home. And it's all Grammar Girl. Grammar Girl shows her heels to the field, and she's going to win it. Grammar Girl is going to win it. Aaron Islands on for second. Grammar Girl wire to wire, and she wins it in for second. Aaron Islands third, Ender off Bluegrass, and River King, Lone Water GW, the inquiry sign posted. And back in sixth, Scorpy, JP. Time for the mile. 2:03 and 2. Sixth win of the night for driver Steve Mahar.